So go ahead. Anybody who would like to speak, go right ahead. Raise your hand or unmute yourself. So Jennifer.
So it's Nick.
It's Nick. Okay, Nick. Oh, and by the way, I find it helpful to put it on the speaker view again, so you get the full person who's speaking.
Can you talk about the relationship between presence and thought?
Okay. So thought is an event that occurs in the here and now of the mind. The weird thing about thoughts is that they often create a here and now experience of the future, and situations that are distant, not present. So thought is this amazing, really amazing thing that makes things that are not like present in the body's immediate environment present nonetheless to the mind. So it's a cool thing. What's important to know about it, I think, from a meditative perspective, is thoughts are actually always occurring now. And the future that we imagine is an event in the present moment and nothing else. Sometimes you get really attached to these future events that are concocted by the mind. And then when they don't happen the way we thought they're supposed to happen, it's upsetting. So from a meditative point of view, there's a great deal of wisdom in seeing a thought as a thought. And so one way to practice that is to notice thoughts as they arise and just see, oh, that's a thought. Oh, I'm thinking. And as you're sitting, you'll notice, before you even notice, thoughts arise and thinking is happening. And that's their subtlety, is they start up of themselves. We say, I'm thinking, but in fact, the thought kind of starts up by itself, doesn't it? It isn't clear that anybody chooses it. It just starts up on itself. And then there's a moment, especially if your intention is to be present, this is more likely to happen. There's a moment where you notice thinking is happening. Usually, the thought will kind of dissipate in that moment. Thoughts are kind of shy. They can't quite handle that. They can't quite handle the direct light of presence. And so they kind of fade and fall apart. And it's in that moment that we can see really clearly that the thought was just a phantom of this present moment. It was just a creation, an event happening in the here and now space that we are. And it's that falling apart I find so powerful. That moment of recognizing the thought and just seeing it kind of shrivel up and disappear. Thoughts sometimes have some energy and momentum to them. So thoughts that have a lot of energy and momentum to them will just pop back in, over and over. When something's bothering you, when there's kind of an anxiety tag to the thought, they tend to recur. And so you can sometimes too feel the flavor of a thought. The thought has an anxious charge to it. That can be really helpful in meditation, to notice the anxious charge that a thought has for you. Because in the moment you do that, you're settling into presence. Even if it's just an instant. It's really helpful with thoughts to lower your expectations down to not having any expectations at all. About having a clear mind. Thoughts happen. They're not any reflection on you that they happen. The ego tries to make something of that, especially if you start having a meditator's ego. You start having a spiritual ego. You might start evaluating yourself based on how quiet your mind is or something like that. That's the path of suffering. That's the road to hell. So, if we can avoid the road of hell, if possible, thoughts are an event in the present moment. We're here as presence to notice the truth. And the truth might be as simple as thoughts arise of themselves. and thoughts fall apart when they're noticed. You know, those really simple things are very powerful. And they remove a lot of the illusion that thought creates, if we can do that at all. So thoughts are just a powerful way to practice, because thoughts are wonderful. I don't want anyone to come away thinking that meditation is anti-thought. Some of the most beautiful things come to us through thoughts. You know, they really do. The images, the content of the mind. We're not banishing that. Thoughts are even sometimes the way our heart speaks to us, though it's often much quieter than the mind. The egoic mind, that is. Our hearts can speak very quietly, and thoughts might be the medium of it. So it's not that meditation is all about banishing thoughts, but our presence in the midst of this quality of thoughts arising and finding a greater stillness with it is a powerful way out of some of the illusions that come with thoughts. So anything else, Nick, you want me to cover about that? Thanks for that question. That was a good one. Good one for a first class. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
All right. In some way, thoughts are the advanced course. The trouble is you have to do the advanced course right in the beginning. But we're so attached to our thoughts. We're so identified with them. We think that's who we are. Which is why I kind of gently introduced the idea of what you are being greater than the body. Because I know that's going to clash with some people's conceptualization of what they are. And I just as soon not fight with that. I just as soon offer an experience and let that be. Okay, who else would like to speak? Perhaps anybody who noticed something in the meditation they just like to name and talk about. Or anything else, of course.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, Nate.
Hey. What if you could touch on, not going to say this verbatim, I don't think, but your suggestion to shift into this field of awareness, like outside of yourself. Can you explain that a little bit more? That was definitely difficult for me to grasp. And it's not my first time hearing of this.
Yeah, it's not your first rodeo, but
no. But yeah,
it's a tough one. So one thing I'll say about this is your conceptual mind can't get it. So there's nothing wrong with not being able to get it in a certain sense. Something has to relax inside you. And so it's why I offer it as a suggestion, a perspective to try on. And so even right now, maybe, you can do this eyes open. If you tried it closed eyes, try it with your eyes open, but maybe don't look right at me. Look off a little bit. And just, you're having a conscious experience of the room, right? The room is not outside of awareness. Yeah. And when you notice that actually awareness is like a field that things are in. So the room right now is in your experience because your eyes are open. My voice is in your experience because I'm talking and you have this link to me on your computer. But none of that is outside of what you are right now. The mind becomes everything that touches it. The mind becomes the room you're in through the data pouring in from your senses. The mind becomes my words. And believe me, the mind has to work pretty hard because all that actually you're hearing is blah, 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 blah. And your mind takes that and turns it into a language that has meaning. Wow, what a thing. Yeah. So the other way to kind of work with it, I see that the time is running out, but I want to take just another moment, is notice if you sense that where you are is up in your head. See what would happen if you relax that and let it come down into your chest. So and everybody who's listening can do this too, of course. Let what you are be in your chest, not behind your eyes. And then I think a way to expand out beyond the body that works quite well for me is to go out the back of the heart. Feel into the space behind you. It's weird, I agree. But I find it works. So anything to say about all that, Nate? How did that go?
There. I feel like this happens to me often, but I never knew really what it was. It's not like there's definitely a shift that takes place. Not like a dissociative one or anything. It's the exact opposite of that.
Yes.
I definitely needed that recap. Because hearing it again to do that was like, wait, what? Even though I'm fairly aware of how to go about doing it. So it was no guru over here, but I that was a good refresher.
Okay, and the shift, if I can name it, I'm guessing, is that there's more here. There's more of a sense of here, of being here. Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, there's more of a sense of being.
Catapulted gently, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of being. So it's the opposite of dissociation. It's actually being more here is what I'm aiming for. And if some of the rest of you are like feeling like you don't know what's going on, it's okay. Do the meditation this week. Come back next week. Ask more. We'll talk more. Relax. Okay, everyone. Have a great week. And I'll see you in a week.